So my machine is on and it's calibrated, and I've chosen my thread, so I'm ready to thread my machine, wind a bobbin, and get all set up for embroidering. So the first thing we're going to do is wind a bobbin. Your machine comes with an empty bobbin down in the bobbin compartment. So the first thing I'll do is grab that so we can wind it. I'm going to slide this little switch over to the right. The cover is going to pop right off, and I'm going to grab the bobbin. So this is my class 15 transparent bobbin. Remember, that's what you always want to use when you are using this machine. So I have some bobbin fill thread that I'm going to wind onto my bobbin. If you're not sure what bobbin fill thread is, make sure to check out the thread episode. So we're going to take a spool cap, which came in your accessories, and we're going to take our thread and put it right on the spool pin, like this. And we'll put the spool cap on to hold it in place. So there is a specific path for winding a bobbin on this machine. We're going to start by going under this metal prong, like that. And then we're going to bring the thread over so that it's passing right in between this channel, between the gray and the metal, like that. Now we're going to look for this screw unit over here, and you'll see that there's a prong right in front of it. So we're going to go to the right of the prong, and then to the left behind the screw, like that. And you want to make sure that the thread goes under the head of the screw. So you should feel a little bit of tension on it when you pull on it, making sure that the thread has flossed itself right under the head of the screw. So now I'll take the tail of my thread, and I'll take my bobbin, and you want to find a little hole on one of the flat sides of the bobbin. It doesn't matter, there's no top or bottom, but just find one of the little holes and thread the thread up through it from the inside of the spool to the outside. And then we'll grab our thread, hold onto it, and stick our bobbin down on the bobbin winding pin, which is right here. To put your machine in bobbin winding mode, we're going to pop that right over like that. And if you look at the screen, you'll notice that there's a picture of a bobbin, and there's also a speed control, so you can adjust it and make it slower if you want to. Right now it's at the maximum, so we're just going to go ahead and push play to start winding. Once it winds for about 5 seconds, you want to make sure that you're holding onto the tail the whole time, because you don't want it to get twisted and tangled. But after it winds and buries the tail, you can go ahead and trim the tail right at the base of the plastic, just so that it doesn't come unraveled and doesn't get all tangled. Once you do that, you can just push play, and it's going to keep winding until it's full. So I'm going to go ahead and stop it, because we don't really need a full bobbin for this demo. To go out of bobbin winding mode, I'm going to push that back over. I'll take my bobbin out, and then I'm going to cut the thread right on this little handy snip right there, just to separate it. It doesn't matter where you cut it. So now that we have our bobbin, we need to put it into the bobbin case. So we'll go back down under the needle, and you want to hold the bobbin so that it makes the letter P with the tail of the thread. So that means that this is like the stem of the P, and then this is the top of it. Holding it just like that, you're going to drop the bobbin down into the bobbin compartment. You're going to find the groove in the gray section below the bobbin and follow the arrows to pull the thread up and around all the way down, and there's a little blade in there that's going to cut the thread right off. And then we can go ahead and put our cover back on, and your bobbin is all good and ready to go. You don't have to draw up the bobbin thread or anything. So now our bobbin is in, and it's all set and ready to go, and it's time to thread the upper thread. I have a 40 weight rayon thread that I'm going to be threading through my needle. Before you thread the upper thread, you want to check two things. You want to make sure the needle is in the highest position, so you can turn the hand wheel towards you just to make sure that it is. You also want the presser foot to be up in the up position before you start threading. So I'm going to take my thread, put it on the spool pin, put the spool cap on, and I'll follow a slightly different thread path on the way to the needle. So I'm going to start by going under this metal piece, but instead of going across it, I'm going to follow these arrows, go up this channel, around back here, and then down this channel. And you'll see there's kind of a clear path to follow, so we'll go around that gray piece, back up, and then behind this gray piece, and down. So the last stop before the needle is this little thread guide right here. It's a silver hook that's right above the needle. It's open on the right-hand side. So I'm going to take my thread, and I just want to slide it right over that hook on the right-hand side so that the thread is now held behind that thread guide. Now I'm going to use my needle threader, so I'm going to push down on this prong and wrap the thread around the silver hook and then bring it through those other prongs right there. And then I will let go of it so that it pulls the thread as a little loop through the needle. And now I'll grab that loop and just pull the thread tail the rest of the way through, making sure it doesn't get tangled around the needle as I do that. So now our machine is all set up and threaded, so it's time to pick a stabilizer. So in the next episode, we will talk about stabilizers.